Yes, this is the novel coronavirus, which COVID-19 is in my lifetimes. Also, I'm experiencing like war-like situations, and it is not only in the case of India; it is across the globe, and this is humanity against the this whole pandemic, a very deadly contagious disease. Now, Arunachal is where a state situated in a landlocked Himalayas and the foothills. We have some strength and the challenges in terms of the medical updated access and technology. And along with that, we have also some constraints and limitations in terms of economic activities. Now, most important thing under this COVID-19 lockdown period of 21 days, this is for the saving of humans' life, and so definitely there will be some would be facing hardship, and to mitigate that, we are in such a place we are located. So, two important sectors will definitely affected. That is one, unorganized sectors of the wage earners. Then another is unorganized agriculture service providers, or we can call farmers or the cultivators. Now, these two sectors are not in a statistically they're properly numerated, but based on the fallback positions, means in situations comes they collect them. Particularly in Arunachal, around 70% of the indigenous populations are still largely depending on their small horticulture, agriculture produce, or the kind of livestock in the form of market goods they are bringing to the main market area and selling, and they earn some kind of amount, and which in return they sustain for their children educations. And so these areas are definitely now affected because most of these unorganized agriculture workers or the farmers, their products or their items which they are being produced from their agricultural lands or the the gardens or any other farm fields are not been able to market, and there is stops in the demand and the supply, and that is being, I think, understood by, I think, government also. Then unorganized the worker sectors, those are engaged in the private constructions or maybe of daily wages. We have no any statistic or the data for that, how many of them are displaced at this moment, how many of them are being sent to the relief camp. We don't have much statistic on, but these two important sectors will be definitely affected because rural populations are more in our state. 30% of the population could be there urban based, particularly where the district headquarters or the access to the amenities, they could be somewhere more I think better. But even if they have a money or they have amount, they cannot now buy anything, they cannot spend. So until and unless there is a flow of demand and supply, your money also become at this moment become no handy to you. So this will be very important effect. So for this, my suggestions to the state governments to tackle this, I think some kind of interim contingency measures is to be evolved to channelize these agriculture products or the livestock or they are bringing from the forest products, collecting by the village woman pogs, and they're bringing it to the main market here in Naharlagun in Tanagar. So how to get these items to now flow on? So government can make some kind of subsidy transportations to collect, or maybe in a collecting somewhere in the booth they kept the thing, and from there they can bring, and these people should be given some kind of subsidy package for giving. So those are having other governments like BPL card or the Jan Dhan Yojana card and others, they are much expensive. But there is many people, so those are not availing those things. They are largely relying on their collecting from the whole day, whole night. They collect from the jungle or their nearby the river rhines or the naturally available leafy vegetables, and which are available in the wild. They are being brought here and they are being marketed. So those area can be, government can look on how to channelize this, and so that the demand and supply or these marketing can be now channelized in such a way they can sustain, and that will immediately affect to the town dwellers or the rural dwellers will also get their the things which comes from there. So this will also one way to alternative to the which we will be defending from the outside the states which come from the Assam or the neighboring states, because that is more vulnerable and risky factors bringing things from there. So internally within there is if continued this lockdown, I think we have to, and particularly foothills areas are largely vulnerable. So this is very important factors which I feel that government should look into. Then under the those organized sectors, of course, we have a very few like here malls or the good market business are there. But most of the markets are few shops and other groceries. They are also being hit by this lockdown because their products are not been able to sell, or either they are not getting the next consignment from the outside due to the lockdown in the elsewhere in the neighboring states, because transportation has been severely affected. And in the process, they are also going to get lost by virtue of not being able to marketing their the stocks or the godowns or their items, and this will affect because states under the present regimes of the taxations is the GST. The state share of the GST will be definitely affected, because as you more selling and buying will be there, then state will earn some out of that revenues. Then the same thing is also with the case of in our Arunachal, particularly we don't have a much other corporate house and here big shopping complex which can earn more, but these are the regular kind of necessities, grocery shops and horseries, clothes and all, but they give some kind of state's burden of the GST, some revenues. So that is also going to affect under this. Then most important thing is our state is also being a hill state. We are really relying on the petroleum products excise duties, which is a good amount of tax excise duties come for the state exchequers. This will also be affected because most of the vehicles are now indoors, and there is rare vehicles, largely only the government authorized vehicles supplying. So maybe there even selling the consumptions, its level has been gone down, and in the process the state the share of the whatever its duties comes or the excise duty will be definitely affected. And over and again the state, despite of this less, we don't have a much revenues in the states on there. We have to still rely on the state government as far as the government of India. Now over and above, this will have a compounded effect on the state exchequers. Now, state exchequer is again to tackle and handle with the now this COVID-19, I would say, the kind of a crisis, to reach out them in terms of man and materials and the required logistics, upgrading their medical facilities. It's a huge components of the financial burdens will definitely states are going to face. And so that how to make up. Now this is I think issue which those are in the helms of affairs they have to understand, because our states we have as of now we don't have a self-reliance in the health sectors. Our testing, kids labs, the state of arts is not yet come up. Whereas age of any such loans remains outstanding with our states, then they may not make any further loans from the consolidated fund, or for that they have to seek consent from the government of India. Now, in such cases, I think state government has to plan a interim plan to go for other financial institutions like RBI or the LIC, or there's a lot of other the nationalized like SBI banks are there which can come. I think that way state government can replenish their copper to meet the budgetary requirement to fight with this COVID-19 virus. And otherwise, financial crunches would be one serious factors in the process. And to meet out these organized and unorganized sectors, you need a boost, and state government should make a special package kind of thing how to. And internal, if there is a continuing the lockdown, then it should be from the external, we should be completely locked in the all barricade kind of situations should be met in the all the foothills, but internally they can mobility can be relaxed, those who are not hot spots as a prevention method. And these marketing of organized and unorganized flow will be able to sustain and maintain the livelihood of them also, and all also the people who are depending on such supply. And this will also encourage the state government to be self-reliant in future of self-productions and agriculture sectors, lives and the fisheries and figgeries, so that now we may not rely on the outsiders bringing those things. And this is, I think, we have to take in the way forward as a positive ideas which will give us future planning of strategies if this kind of thing. This is my, I think, a strong feeling.